Hi, Dr. Yas here. Today I'm going to talk about the extremely outrageous perspective that sciatic symptoms can come from any structural variation occurring at the lumbar spine. We need to make absolutely clear that sciatica, the symptom associated with irritation of the sciatic nerve, which is some sort of altered sensation. It could be pain, tingling, numbness that occurs from the gluteal region down the leg beyond the knee to the shin or all the way to the foot, has nothing to do with any kind of structural variation found in the lumbar spine, such as a herniated disc, bulging disc, pinched nerve, stenosis, or any of the like. Let's be absolutely clear that sciatica, implying irritation of the sciatic nerve, would imply that the sciatic nerve is irritated somewhere along its path. The sciatic nerve begins at the gluteal region and ends at the back of the knee. For all of you who are saying to yourself, it is the strangest thing, they keep telling me that the cause of my pain is coming from my back, and yet I have no pain at my back, you are correct to believe that that is an indication there is nothing wrong from the spine creating the symptom. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with impingement of the sciatic nerve within its path from the gluteal region down the back of the knee. What can cause impingement of the sciatic nerve in its path? The piriformis muscle. This is a muscle that starts at the sacral spine and runs diagonally across the gluteal region to the hip joint. In 30% of the population, the sciatic nerve actually perforates through the piriformis muscle. So what happens is, if there is a strain of the piriformis muscle, it will thicken and impinge on the sciatic nerve. That justifies the idea and gives a rational explanation of the idea that sciatica is irritation of the sciatic nerve, therefore something must irritate it within its path, and in fact the piriformis does impinge on the sciatic nerve. Now, this ridiculous premise that it's coming from the lumbar spine stems from the idea that MRIs find pinched nerves or bulging or herniated discs or stenosis, and the implication is simply because this was found, that is the cause of sciatica. You have to at least have some sort of scientific basis for this statement being made. It can't just be arbitrary. Well, it was found, so that's the answer. And the reality is that the sciatic nerve, listen to this carefully, has no connection to the spine. Nerves do not connect to the spine. Nerve roots that come out of the spine are where the beginnings of the nervous system generate from the spine. The nerve roots that come out of the lumbar and sacral spine join to form the sciatic nerve, but the sciatic nerve itself does not begin until the gluteal region. So this foolhardy position that some sort of impingement of a nerve root creates the same symptom as sciatica is outrageous, irrational, makes no sense. If in fact a nerve root were impinged, it would create symptoms in an area of skin that is innervated by that nerve root. It is called a dermatome. L3 would create symptoms in the front of the thigh. L4 would create symptoms at the inner shin. L5 would create symptoms at the outer shin. So as you can see, no nerve root actually creates symptoms in the entire path of the experience of the symptom of sciatica, which is pain or altered sensation from the gluteal region down to the shin, in most cases to the foot. We need to end anybody from believing that this premise that sciatica being experienced, an MRI finding some structural variation at the lumbar spine, has any rational sense of justifying that these structural variations create sciatica. From a purely theoretical perspective, it is impossible, no nerve root that is impinged can innervate the area of skin that is affected by the symptom of sciatica, which is the result of the sciatic nerve being impinged within its path from the gluteal region to the back of the knee, and this can occur by irritation of the piriformis muscle in the gluteal region. Once we've accepted the idea that sciatica has nothing to do with the identification of a structural variation in the lumbar spine, you need to put that aside. I don't care how many doctors tell you this. I don't care who the doctor is. You must begin to accept the idea that there must be at least a theoretical basis for what someone's telling you for you to accept it. Just because they wear a lab coat and have some sort of credential means nothing. It should mean nothing to you. The only thing that should matter to you is whether there is a logical and theoretical basis for the statements being made. I don't expect you to trust me simply because I say something. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to the theoretical, the logical nature of what is being said. What I present is what is trying to explain what actually appears in the body and how the body is created and how it works. That's the logical basis of the Yas method. That's why it should be trusted. That's why you should follow the methodology that is presented, because it's logical. It explains things in a way that makes sense based on the way the body works. That's the idea. This premise of diagnostic test findings of finding structural variations in the lumbar spine and suddenly that's the cause of sciatica is insanity. It is absolute insanity. Another point to be made is, let's say that your sciatica began 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? Just 2 or 3 weeks ago, you had a symptom, and then they get an MRI and it says you have a herniated disc or pinched nerve or something like that, and they're saying that's the cause of your sciatica. That implies that 1 day prior to having that symptom, you didn't have that herniated disc or stenosis, which is even more of an insane statement, considering it takes years for these progressive degenerations to occur to lead to things like herniations or stenosis or impinged nerves. The other point is that let's end this ridiculous premise that the mere presentation of structural variations on diagnostic tests implies that some sort of intervention must be performed simply because it's identified. It can't be any more sicker to believe this. Just recognize that over the age of 60, 90% of people who have no back pain can be found to have bulging or degenerative discs. Are you going to tell me that even though they don't have any symptom whatsoever, they're fully pain-free, we should do surgery on their bulging or degenerative discs simply because they were identified? The system's broken. It's absolutely clear. There is no question about it. The only system that makes sense is one that interprets the body's presentation of symptoms and then explains it in a logical and theoretical basis. That is the Yas method. There is no question. Looking forward, any type of use of any other system will simply lead to the results that you can see. Failure in surgery, failure in your ability to get any kind of improvement in function, and most likely the dependence on addictive pain medications. It is a sad statement to make, but it is the reality of where we live. You need to use the Yas method. When it comes to this issue of the piriformis muscle straining and impinging on the nerve, the Yas method even has a presentation as to why that even happened, and that is that certain muscles have strain causing the piriformis muscle to overwork, break down, and elicit the symptom. So the answer is that you have a muscular cause creating a neurological symptom. Another false perception that is created, that all neurological symptoms are the result of some sort of structural variation to a nerve known as a neuropathy. Well, Dr. Aaron Filler, the creator of the MRN, magnetic resonance neurography, which was developed in 2005, by the way, does a study. It's a high-powered MRI where the MRI cannot see nerves. The MRN can, and his study showed that in 93% of cases of sciatica, the cause was the piriformis muscle impinging on the sciatic nerve. So even we have diagnostic testing that proves that you have, in this particular case of sciatica, a muscular cause creating a neurological symptom. There is no structural variation of a nerve that requires some sort of intervention. There are so many false premises that are entrenched in the existing medical model that it pretty much guarantees you failure if you follow it. You need to follow the Yas method. Here is a simple indication that you can have a muscular cause creating a neurological symptom. So the answer isn't in treating the nerve, it's in treating the muscular deficit. The Yas method provides the appropriate targeted method of strength training, which will allow you to strengthen the appropriate muscles, and in just a very short period of time, weeks, if not 1 or 2 months, you will be pain-free, fully functional, if we can properly diagnose that the symptom you're experiencing is sciatica, and then we establish which muscles have broken down to cause the piriformis to strain and impinge on the sciatic nerve. You need to go to the Yas method. It's that simple. If you want to find out more about the Yas method, go to my website at www.mitchellyas.com. That's MITCHELLYASS.com. Or just email me at Dr. Mitch, DRMITCH, at MITCHELLYASS.com. That's Dr. Mitch at mitchellyas.com. Or if you want, just call me on my cell phone at 516-449-1359. Any way you get the information, you could check out one of my 2 books, The Pain Cure RX or Overpower Pain. Go to the YouTube station, which is Dr. Mitchell Yas, my Facebook page, Dr. Mitchell Yas. Just get the information and begin to utilize the Yas method, and you will be stunned at how quickly you could end your symptoms and get the life back you so preciously are entitled to have. You deserve to have quality of life. You deserve to have your symptoms resolved. Let's just accept the fact the system's broken. It is based on a slew of illogical premises, and as a result, pretty much guarantees failure in addressing your symptoms. Get the Yas method. Resolve your pain. Get the quality of life you deserve. This is Dr. Mitchell Yas, wishing you a pain-free, fully functional life. Bye-bye.